All right, there we go. Hello, hello. John S. Rhodes here of the Rhodes Brothers, and this is Greater Wealth Through Mastery. The topic of today's short talk is what meditation did for me after 2,300 days in a row. Just for perspective, yes, indeed, that is over 6 years of meditation, and the streak is still going strong. So depending on when you see this video exactly, it could be even higher, maybe much higher. I want to spend a moment just to set the stage, and it's very simple. I began my journey with meditation for the purpose of following in the footsteps of other people that I knew, liked, and admired. And one of the things that I heard again and again and again was how important meditation was. So I studied meditation, the tools, the techniques, and importantly, the time of day, and also how to fit meditation into my daily routine so that I could turn it into something that would grow and grow and grow and benefit me just like it had benefited those people, again, that I knew, liked, and admired. People who were more advanced than me, people who were making more money than me at the time. And also, some of these people were close friends and associates as well. And I thought, look, if I am friends with these people and they are doing meditation different ways, different styles, different types, then maybe I should be doing that too. And that's a lesson right there. And that you want to look at your peers, you want to look around and see who is successful and why are they successful and what can I do that's very, very simple. What small thing can I do that will emulate what they do? And perhaps maybe I can learn a thing or two about that activity, in this case, meditation, and then I can share it with them, with my peers. Even better, I'm able to share it with tens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, perhaps someday. And I hope that this benefits you as well. Now, before I dive into the lessons, one more thing as well, and that is that there is no perfect way to meditate. So I'm not going to spend an awful lot of time trying to convince you that there is a very specific best way. What I have found, and again, this is from my readings and my research and talking with my friends and peers, a number of basically videos as well, trying to figure out what is best. And what I found is that there are so many different methods. What really matters more than anything is that you just get started. I will also tell you, and this is possibly useful to you, is that I do use a app on my phone. So every day I use this app because it helps me to track. Now, I also do keep track on my to-do list. I keep track as well with other tools and techniques such as using my journal. I don't want to get into that now. I have other videos on those aspects of my life and my morning routine. But now, knowing that and having that as a foundation, let's dive into the many different ways that meditation has helped me, almost entirely has helped me. Oh, one last thing. My apologies. So, I meditate for just 2 minutes per day. I tried 1 minute per day. That was not quite enough. I did 5 minutes. I did 10 minutes, 15, 30. I tried a bunch of different time frames. And what I found is that 2 minutes was just about right. Now, there have been times where I have extended the amount of time that I meditate, or I meditate with a stopwatch or with a countdown timer because I don't always have the app available. Almost always I do, but not always. So again, how you meditate, where you meditate, and the specific details, don't worry too much about that. Again, just get started. Okay, now for the benefits. And I think you'll be very surprised by a few of these. All right, the very first thing is habits. Other habits, as a result of having the habit of meditation very early in the day, helped me to establish other habits. Let me give you an example. I mentioned journaling just a moment ago. Well, I don't have the greatest memory. You can ask almost anyone, friends and family. My memory is okay. I would say it's average at best. I'm not losing my mind and I'm not, totally blank every day, but I don't have a memory in particular like a steel trap. My brother, Matt Rhodes, he has a far superior memory. And I lean on him for that. And I recognize that, and we both know it, and it's very, very useful. By the way, I also use other tools and techniques so that my memory is even better, but that's another topic for another day. I'd be happy to know if you want to know how to improve your memory. If your memory is just kind of so-so, leave a comment below, and I'll do a video for you on that exactly. But other habits became easy, and one of them was journaling. If I was already in the process of going through a series of habits, one of those being meditation, then journaling was that much easier because it's like, hey, jump on the train and it's already rolling along. So I might as well meditate, and then at a later point in time in my morning routine, hey, I'm going to also write in my journal. So it strengthens the muscle of habit. And who doesn't want to have habits that stick, especially when they are very, very positive habits? Now, obviously, you don't want habits that are bad to stick, but when it comes to a morning routine in particular, which is when I meditate, what better way than to get things rolling with meditation? And I meditate it's probably the fourth or fifth step in my morning routine. It's not the very first thing that I do. Again, if you're interested in my morning routine, leave a comment below. I'd be happy to talk about that. And you can find that on the channel here. Okay, second item I want to point out is proof that the first step that you take is what is necessary to go 1,000 miles. There's a Chinese saying, I think it is, and it's, hey, the first step, or the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And that's exactly the muscle that I built by starting my morning routine and the other habits associated with that. But very importantly, for the topic of today, it also radically improved by doing meditation every single day. It's this small win. And if you know anything about Atomic Habits, fantastic book, simple message, Atomic Habits, you will see if you look into that book and you spend the time in understanding how habits are formed and then how habits actually stick and what they really are, you'll find that taking that first step, in the case here of meditation, can go a very, very long way. Because actually, meditation is a trigger for other things that I do. Again, be happy to talk about that. Just let me know. All right, a third thing is the timing. Again, I've already mentioned 2 minutes is all that it takes for me to get all the benefits that I need. It's very, very short. My commitment to meditation, it's very low. It's very, very low. I don't have to dread. I never, ever, ever dread like, oh no, I have to meditate, because it's just 2 minutes. Now, also in terms of time and timing, because it's part of my morning routine, well, guess what? It's very early in the day, and that sets me up for success. In a way, it is fuel for success for the rest of the day. So not only does it provide me with getting over the initial morning, hey, I'm kind of slumped and slow, it gets me over the negative inertia. It also creates a very positive inertia, because once I meditate, it is just pushing me along. Maybe a better way to think about it is it actually pulls me forward in the day toward greater and greater activities of higher and higher value, such as creating this very training, this teaching, this video that you're watching right now was not done before my morning routine and before meditation. I've already meditated. I've already done my morning routine, and you can see, wow, my energy is sky high. So this is something to take into consideration for sure. I think it makes more sense to do it at the beginning of the day than the middle of the day, but the end of the day is also smart, because that can be a time to reflect on the day. And I think this comes down to personality. Depending on your personality, you can either meditate in the morning as a kickstart, or you can use meditation at the end of the day. Now, there are people I know, a small handful, but they'll meditate in the middle of a day, right? So they'll say, hey, it's around lunchtime. They even sometimes use it as part of like a siesta or a 15, 20-minute power nap. They'll meditate and then they will fall asleep, which is perfectly reasonable. Again, how you meditate is far less important than that very fact that you do meditate. So again, pick your time, but if you had to pick a time, I would pick the morning. The second best time, in my opinion only, is the end of the day. And the third best is some other time of the day, but maybe after lunch. Okay. Another thing, a fourth lesson, another thing that meditation did for me is silence. Just like that, silence. And it's very interesting because when there is silence, something needs to fill that gap. Nature abhors a vacuum, right? And so if there's nothing, then something is going to fill that gap. Now, a lot of times I will have chatter in my mind. I will have thoughts in my mind. I will be working on my to-do list, not on purpose. It's kind of just what happens. Other times I'm able to center on my breath and just focus on my breath. So breath work sometimes happens without my even knowing it. Other times, depending on exactly where I am and exactly the time of day, it's just peace and gratitude and sunlight, and I'm actually fueling myself. I'm filling the bucket of gratitude, energy, and love. Yes, it sounds a little woo-woo, and I'm a pretty hard-nosed, entrepreneurial, driven kind of guy. I think you can tell by my energy. I'm super intense about a lot of things, but sometimes meditation just does its magic, and it clears the slate and gives me a certain kind of clarity and silence. It's pretty rare where there's pure silence, but it does happen sometimes, and it's like, whoa, you are just in the void. You're part of everything all at once. My physiology probably changes and I calm down. My heart rate probably comes down. My body feels what's going on, and my mind senses what my body is maybe not even aware of, and then suddenly it is. Like everything kind of gels and comes together. It's not like some crazy spiritual bliss, but I know that that does happen for quite a few people, perhaps you, and maybe that's exactly what you're looking for. Possible, right? Okay, another thing is straight up calm. And what I mean by this is that there are times, and this is probably, I would say 1 to 2 times per month, there'll be some kind of ache or pain. Like maybe my knee hurts, maybe my shoulders kind of for whatever reason, my neck, a little bit of ache there, or something else. Maybe I just feel stressed, but let's just focus on some kind of physical something that's not quite right. Well, let's say my knee right now. I've been hiking an awful lot, and so my knee aches a little bit. And during my 2-minute meditation, I will focus on healing my knee. I will focus on healing whatever part of my body. I will send healing energy and healing thoughts to my knee. Now, is it actually going to heal my knee directly through the vibrations of the universe? Hey, I don't know. But what I have found is that when I focus in that way, my healing does seem to speed up, does seem to get better. Maybe because it's just like a placebo effect and I favor that knee a little more, or I add something to my to-do list about maybe, I don't know, some kind of icing of my knee, or maybe a painkiller if I'm really hurting, something along those lines, where the healing or the handling of some physical ailment is handled in some other way. Very tangible. Doesn't have to be woo-woo, doesn't have to be mystical or metaphysical, but it might be. And even for that alone, that's cool, man. That's cool. Because if that's the case, that's pretty awesome. That is really awesome if that's what it is and I do nothing else. And hey, if it's only the placebo effect, that's pretty good too. Because either way, my knee or my shoulder or my neck or whatever it is getting better. And ultimately, that's what you want. You want the end result. Now, if it's metaphysical, if it's spiritual, if it's energy and vibrations, that's just cool, right? It's just plain cool. But even if it's not that, it's still pretty awesome to feel better faster, which has been my experience over and over and over. This is not a one-time thing. By the way, this is also why end of the day is very reasonable, because it can help you sleep and help you position yourself in your bed, for example, and have the right dreams and the right thoughts and so forth, clearing out of the stress and letting go. Again, it depends on how you meditate. If you want to know how I meditate and what I think about in more detail, again, drop a note in the comments below. All right, here's another item that I think is very important. This is probably more for the analytical person in you. Maybe if you're data driven, maybe you're more of an engineer or programmer, maybe you're a hard-nosed analyst of some sort, or you are an entrepreneur and you're just focused on that to-do list and the calendar and the alarms are going off and it's like bam, 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 bam. Trust me, I get it. What meditation can do is it can automatically, if you let it, that's the key, if you let it, meditation can be the reset button, right? All the stress and the pressure of the previous day or the morning, or maybe you've had some coffee too much and you're jacked up, you're amped up, just way too much energy. And you're like, wait. I need to chill. Time for the chill pill. And it doesn't need to be a chill pill at all. It doesn't need to be anything that you ingest in any way, although that might help as well. Who knows? Depends on you. Okay, so you can hit the mental reset button. So that's what meditation pretty much always does for me. In those 2 minutes, I am hitting the reset button. It's a way of just clearing the fog in some senses. In other senses, it's focusing in on what actually matters, which is actually the next topic. When you hit that reset button as a result of meditating, it ignites a certain passion and joy in you, and it's going to be a positive kind of reset almost every single, not always, but almost every single time. It's going to be a positive reset button, and then that will help you focus with a positive outlook, positive energy, positive vibrations. If that's your thing, that's what's happening, because that reset button of meditation gives you focus on what actually matters. And that's on the things that the inner mind is working on when you're not paying attention. Let me say this another way. When you meditate, the outside world quiets, and the inside world, your thoughts, kind of get louder at first. And so you hear the chatter. Well, you can pick one thing to focus on. You can pick 2 or 3 things to focus on. You can also say, okay, guys, okay, folks, all right, easy now. And you can release the demons. You can let go of the chatter. You can tell the various voices in your mind. Remember, the outside world is already quiet because you've probably closed your eyes. But the inner world, that chatter is right there, and you can start to take control of your inner world and what's bubbling up as well that you didn't even know was there, of the subconscious mind and the voices. You can say, shh, be quiet, be still, be peaceful. That is control. That is power. That is something that no one can take away from you. You will have control, guaranteed. I can't tell you how much control. I can't tell you how well it's going to work, but I can tell you that you close down, shut down to a degree, if not fully, the outside world, but the inside world gets louder as a result, and then you can calm that too. So the outside world and the inside world both are engaged in calm. Outside, inside, calm, and you have a certain kind of synchronicity of the outside world being calm and the inside world being calm. So that's really what you want. If you think about focus, focus is the power of control. Control is the power of focus. They're not exactly one-to-one, but they're pretty darn close in this case. Okay, 2 more things remain. The next one is investing. Everyone talks about investing, and they usually are using the word investing when they are talking about what? Money, right? You invest in yourself. You're investing money to buy a course or to get some service or to get some kind of peace of mind. Very, very reasonable. But what if I told you right here, right now, that you can invest in yourself in your future, in your family, in your community. You can benefit everyone by investing in meditation, which is an activity that you control and you are focusing on. It's the self comes first. You're not being selfish any more than there's an issue on an airplane and you have to give yourself oxygen first. Meditation is self-care. It's taking care of yourself first so that you can provide maximum value to other people. You can't be at your best if you don't have focus and control. You don't have your priorities straight. It's impossible, in fact, to continuously provide more and more and more value without investing in yourself. And this is one of, if not the best way to invest in yourself without spending even one penny. Very, very powerful. Again, this is self-care. This is taking care of yourself, not selfishly, but it's self-centered. It's making sure you are all set. And trust me when I say that those around you, as well as your tribe, your community, those who you work with, the internet as a whole, the world at large will benefit because you are taking care of yourself and you're making yourself a better person with better control, not getting all emotional and wild, not reacting. You are being proactive. And it's interesting, if you do meditation correctly and you're actually meditating, not just sitting there, if you're actually meditating, it is a productive act. Even if there's no voices in your head, even if there's no to-do list, just sitting and meditating and letting love flow, letting thoughts escape that are negative, shutting out the outside world so it doesn't pollute or disrupt, and the inside world getting calm gives you the ability to express yourself in the most positive possible ways. Again, meditation is never negative where you're like, I gotta do this, rah. You're never mean or unkind to yourself. You're peaceful, you're calm, and that will bleed into your products, into your emails, into your conversations with other people. You're more likely to hug your family. You're more likely to pick up the phone and call your mother and say, I love you, Mom. You are more likely to do that. And by the way, sidebar, if you haven't talked to your mother in a while and she's still alive, give her a call, send her a note, send her a picture. You'll never, ever regret sending your mother love, or your father if your father is alive. Last but not least, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude in general. Gratitude is an expression of peace and love. Now, here's what's interesting. It's very difficult to be grateful and be loving toward other people if you don't first love yourself. If you're not grateful for your time on earth, for this very moment, certainly the past and the possibilities of the future. You can't change the past, and you can't really change the future because you're not in the future right now. You're in the now. And because you're in the now, meditation allows you to have an instant shift. And if you have a positive meditation habit, daily, strengthening that muscle, getting better and better and better about your meditation over time, building that streak for days, weeks, months, years, like in my case. In that case, I am able to be very grateful for, if nothing else, I'm grateful that I am continuing my meditation streak. Again, I'm on the positive momentum train, chugga, chugga, chugga. And I'm able to more easily love myself, what I've accomplished, my family, my friends, my associates, my partners, my customers, my brothers, and so on. Yes, I said brothers. I have a younger brother. I have an older brother. So that being said, you're able to be grateful and you're able to express your gratitude outward so much more easily if you have meditated. Now, I've got something very, very important to share with you. Speaking of that, in the next video, you'll see it come up on the screen in just a moment. So keep that in mind. Remember also that this teaching and training is greater wealth through mastery. And there's no better mastery than self-mastery. Meditation, in my opinion, is a form of self-mastery. And if you are more and more of a master of yourself, controlling yourself, focused on yourself in the right way, greater wealth should follow. Again, if you haven't seen that on the screen yet, you'll see the next video in just a moment. I will ask that you like this video. Please go ahead and like the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Now, one last final thing. If there's something that I have covered that you would like covered in a future video, go ahead right now, go down to the comments and let me know what you'd like further, deeper training on. We look at every single comment that comes in and we greatly appreciate you. Now for sure, that next video has shown up on the screen. Okay, thank you very much. This is John S. Rhodes signing off. We'll see you in the next video.